The Final Station is a 2D survival horror game developed by Do My Best and published by tinyBuild. This game is probably one of the best survival horror games that I've personally played in recent memory, because it uses the element of survival perfectly. Because usually in survival horror games it's either you have to build bases and gather a lot of resources in these new survival type games, or otherwise it's your standard Resident Evil don't waste your ammo thing. Here you also have medikits and food to salvage. The main premise of the game is that you're a train conductor in a post-apocalyptic world where there are these weird gas, zombie-like people that have almost taken over the world. And there are only a few outposts where humans can live, and they can be reached only by train. And your mission, I'm not going to actually spoil it because the story gets very interesting in the game. But let's just say that you have to carry certain items throughout the entire world, and there is a shady conspiracy from the government and the military, as in most post-apocalyptic stories. And here it's pretty interesting, especially for a video game. And when you are exploring certain areas, you will find survivors. And you can bring the survivors to your train. And once they're there, they need to eat, and in case they are losing blood, they need to get medikits. And there aren't that many medikits or food that you can find throughout the environment that you explore. So you can either craft them, or you can let those people die. But if you let them die, you're not going to get some rewards that each one will give to you. And this is a pretty cool mechanic, and I really like that, especially because it makes everything intense. And while you are on the train, you also have to take care of certain functions. For example, there is a heating system that you have to cool down, or there is the electricity that you have to rewire. It's not really a mini game, it's more something to keep you occupied while staying on the train, but it's not annoying, and I really like that. And also while you're on the train, you can also chat, more or less, with other train operators that are scattered throughout the world. And one by one they start disappearing, because some get killed, some just disappear, and it just builds to the atmosphere of the game. And then you got the actual gameplay, the actual combat. You have to find a code that will start your train again. So you start exploring every single level each time to find this one code, then get back to your train, start it up and go away. And in these areas there are these gas people, and you can kill them in a multitude of ways. You can either shoot them with your pistol or your shotgun, you can hit them by throwing barrels, by throwing chairs, or just by punching them to death. And there are your standard slow, normal ones, there are the really small, fast ones, the big, slow, strong ones, and the explosive ones. Just like in any other zombie games, there's this huge variety of them. And here they are pretty frightening, and they will kill you just a couple of hits, and sometimes I just prefer, if I get hit multiple times, just to die and restart from the checkpoint rather than wasting a medikit that I could use on the train later on. Honestly, this is pretty great, but the only real issue that I have with the game is the level design. Because while it doesn't look like that at first, it's incredibly linear. And that is both a flaw and a pro of the game, because this means that every single level is linear. You start from the left side of the map, you go right, you climb buildings or whatever because every other single door is locked, and once you get to the far right hand of the map, there is some underground tunnel or some way up that you can take that will bring you back to the beginning of the area after you found the code. And honestly, even though I think that that's really a fault of the game because there isn't really all that much exploration aside from a couple of side rooms that you can explore, it also makes the game more enjoyable and less confusing, because otherwise imagine navigating an entire map, going up and down, left and right without knowing where you actually have to go. It could have been pretty frustrating, so it's a mixed bag in my opinion, the level design, but it's not horrible by any means. There are also Steam achievements that you can unlock. There are a couple of really cool secrets. Once you get to certain outposts, you can buy food, you can buy upgrades for your guns, and the soundtrack and sound design is pretty darn good. So overall, I think that if you like survival horror games, if you like zombie games even, definitely buy The Final Station. It's one of the best indie games that's come out this year, and I think that for the price of $12 discounted and $15 full price, it's definitely worth it. But still guys, if you played The Final Station, do you want to play it? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks always for watching, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.